and drank, they were doomed. They were undone, destroyed, after all of man's weapons and devices had failed, by the tiniest creatures that God in his wisdom put upon this earth. By the toll of 1 billion deaths, man had earned his immunity, his right to survive among this planet's infinite organisms. And that right is ours against all challenges, for neither do men live nor die in vain. Nobody writes like that anymore. Okay, so I heard that, so now watch. H.G. Wells was a scientifically literate author. This is in the late 1800s. He would have fully known Darwin's evolution by natural selection from The Descent of Man, and which is his later book, and the one from 1859, which was The Origin of Species. He would have known all of this. He would have been biologically fluent. So I thought it odd that I'm hearing something that sounds like it's from the book, that is mentioning God and his infinite wisdom. I just thought that just sounded odd. So I went to the original source, and I found the passage that would go there. And I will now read that to you. We go back 120 years. War of the Worlds, the novel. For so it had come about, as indeed I and many men might have foreseen, had not terror and disaster blinded our minds. These germs of disease have taken toll of humanity since the beginning of things, taken toll of our pre-human ancestors since life began here. By virtue of this natural selection of our kind, we have developed resisting power. To no germs do we succumb without a struggle. Directly these invaders arrived. Directly they drank and fed. Our microscopic allies began to work their overthrow. By the toll of 1 billion deaths, man has bought his birthright of the earth, and it is his against all comers. It would still be his were the Martians 10 times as mighty as they are, for neither do men live nor die in vain. So just compare these. So this is the Hollywood ending, and this is the novel's ending. And so we go from God and his wisdom to, we go from pre-human ancestors and natural selection. All that gets cleansed of the text, and we get God and his wisdom. So we've gone 120 years, 110 years, and people feel like the audience should not know about the founding principle of modern biology. And I'm intrigued by that. Maybe people won't like the movie for learning this, something that is objectively true about this world. So this is a shift that has happened. And of course they didn't have movies in 1897. Had they made the movie then, I don't know if they would have kept this or be afraid to put it in. But I'm just highlighting this for you as a shift in how we are communicating with audiences relative to science, relative to an original text. By the way, in all fairness to the phrase God and his wisdom, that phrase appears in the book. In other places, there's a theologian there. You get to explore different people's reactions to this terror that's happening. And you get like kids and adults and businessmen and theologians. So you get some of this reaction, but not in that section where you're getting the summation of how we overthrew the... So it's how you can still get a very 19th century flourish, because they're using actual words from elsewhere in the book, cobbled together where this phrase actually was. So we're overdue for what? A beer commercial, of course. Okay? Here we go, beer commercial.